Good morning, everybody. Just waiting to hear my voice come through on my test stream, and then we'll jump straight on in. How are we all going today? Hopefully I'll hear my voice in a second, and then I'll be able to switch into actually doing the stuff. Oh, I can see myself, but can I hear myself? Yes, I can hear myself. So I know that the live stream's now working. So how are we all? How are we going on this? Well, for me, Christmas Eve. For most of the world, it's still Christmas Eve. How are things going? I've got my Christmas hat on. Here we go. Got the baubles on there. I've got my star on the top. Got my Christmas T-shirt, my favourite Christmas T-shirt with my favourite saying, "Bah, humbug." Yes, don't call me Scrooge. Scrooge reformed. He was bad. I'm Jacob Marley, didn't reform. Welcome to the comments. Let me just get the mouse in the right position and I can actually see the full comment text. There we go. So we've got Blonde Scales 1. Welcome from Arkansas. John, happy holidays from New York. And cool hat. The hat is brilliant. It was actually about a month ago I got it. We were in Kmart for something completely unrelated. And we were going around and we're heading towards the tills and they were just getting all the Christmas stuff out. So, yeah, about a month, 6 weeks ago. And I saw this hat, I saw loads of it, and they were only $5. So I thought, well, why not? And it actually fits my head. A lot of Christmas hats don't normally fit my head, so that's quite good as well. I'll just see some more comments coming through. Let me just refresh this window. We've got Alia Rose from Pennsylvania. And Blonde Scales 1, dreaming of a wet Christmas rain tomorrow. Here in Australia, the weather's really weird. Most of Australia, they've got rain. Over here in Western Australia, we've got beautiful sunshine. So tomorrow, the forecast is for 33 centigrade. Let me just get my calculator out. So 33C in F. So that's not 33, Garry. Wrong keyboard. Let's try that. So that's about 92 Fahrenheit. So it'll be nice and warm. So lost the mouse. Let me just refresh the chat window again. See if there's any more, and then we'll get into the topic. So Tom Morley, hello, welcome to you, Tom. So today's topic, earlier on in the week I put out a request. I got a couple of really good suggestions. I'm going to do one today. The other one I'll actually do in the new year. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a photo quiz. So on my Tricky Little Questions channel, I do a photo quiz once a month where what I do is I show a photo zoomed in for about 5 seconds, zoom out a little bit for another 5, and then zoom out and show you the full picture. So what I thought we'd do today, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it using pens. So the photos aren't the best because I took them on my iPhone yesterday and very quickly put this together. So what I'm going to do, I won't have a timer, I'll just manually change the picture. So I'll put it up, I'll leave it a few seconds, then show the next one. So you've got to score yourself. Drop into the comments so what you think each pen is. Keep a sorry, 1 second. So I've just had this one here. So where am I? Channel activity. Got to put you on a timeout. That's not the sort of thing that I expect on this. We're not here to be doing that. So let's jump on in then. I'm going to switch over. This is onto my Mac, so you can get the screen. So here's pen number 1. What do you think it is? Keep a track of your score, and then at the end, drop your score into the comments. Here we go with a zoomed in version. If I click the right window. Any idea? So this one, it's the Pilot Prera. Here we go. I've got it down here as well so you can see in the little preview of me. All these pens are empty at the moment. So give yourself 2 points if you got on the first picture, 1 point if you got on the second, and 0 points if you didn't get it at all. Pen number 2, what do you think this is? Zooming out a bit. And then, there we go. This one, another Pilot pen, the Pilot E95S or Pilot Elite. Gorgeous pen, I love this pen. Can't wait to get this inked up again. Pen number 3. What do you think this one is? Bit of a harder picture, this one, isn't it? We are zoomed out a bit. How are we going with this? Unfortunately, I think, yeah, you can make out a little bit of the engraving there on the nib, which might help a bit. And then, zooming out, this one, this is a Tibaldi Bononia. So an Italian-made pen. There we are. Very nice. This is the Bora Bora colour. Next up, pen number 4. What do we think this one is? Zoom out a bit. This one may give it away. So there's the nib. Got some nice engraving on there that's showing up really well. And then, here we go. This is the Diplomat Aero. Another, I mean, all these pens are gorgeous, I've got to be honest. The next one, so number 5. I think this one hopefully will be one of the easiest ones to get. I think a lot of people, do seem to have these. Let's zoom out a bit. This might help give it away, that nib engraving there. How are we going? Are we ready? The reveal is, this is the TWSBI Eco. This is the green version. Nib on here, I believe, yeah, this is the 1.1 nib on here. I know you can't really see too much in the picture of me. Next up then, how about this one? This one might be a bit difficult. I think this is one of the ones, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you may struggle a bit. Now zoom out a bit. This, again, not actually that helpful unless you know about the pen. And then, going to zoom out. This one is a Majon, or the Moonman M800. This is in the purple. And this has got the bot nib. You can actually buy it with a bot nib. Just going to very quickly zoom through some comments now before we go on to the last couple. So let me move the mouse to the right screen. So we've got Blonde Scales 1, really bad at identifying pens. Don't worry, it's all about having a bit of fun, this one. Ricardo, good morning. Alia Rose, I'm too much of... Why isn't that mess? I don't know. Right, there we go. I'm too much of a noob to do. I hate computers. I'm too much of a noob to do well here, but this is interesting. I say it's just all about a bit of fun. It was just something, I was trying to think of something different, and someone suggested it. Ricardo, yep, you got there the Pilot Elite. William, yep, the Tibaldi Bononia, you got that one. William again, the Diplomat Aero. I love that finish on the Diplomat Aero. It's called Factory, and it's just like the raw finish. Absolutely beautiful. Blonde Scales 1, the nib showed the first 2 were pilots. Yeah, I have tried to make sure I've got a little bit of a hint in the pictures, certainly on the second picture. Ricardo, Diplomat Aero. William, the TWSBI Diamond 580. Blonde Scales 1 is the Aero. Alia Rose, TWSBI, yep, well done Alia. Ricardo, the Eco. Blonde Scales 1, the Eco. William, dang, got the brand right. Ha ha. William, Moonman M800. Alia Rose, Hondian N12. I can see where you're coming with that. Very good guess. Ricardo, the Moonman. So let's move on to the next one, shall we? Let's move on over. Are there any more comments? I keep forgetting to refresh the comments. Any more comments before we move on? William, I've got an Aero with the stripes finish. Yeah, I looked at that. I tell you what I am looking at the moment. Don't think I'm going to get it. It was the Elox, the one where the stripes go the other way around. I like the look of that as well. Very similar in terms of shape though, but it's just the patterning is different. John, is the bot nib worth the extra bucks? It's very difficult, that. Problem is, because they're both fine nibs, so there's not a lot of choice. I think it was about an extra $10 to get the bock nib. I got two with and I got two without, and one of the ones that came with a bock nib, I've already swapped it for. I've actually put a Yoho nib. I managed to get a Yoho nib in there. So yeah, I personally, no, I don't think it is. I think the Moonman nib's quite nice, but downside is it's only fine. Right, so let's move on. So the next one, how about this one? How do we go with this one? Number 6. Let's move on. Hopefully this one will help give it away. That nib there, that engraving, really visible. I've also got the top of the cap there, which helps give it away. And this one, this is a Jinhao 100. This is in the blue. I really like my Jinhao 100s. I've got about 6 of them now. Next picture. This one, again, maybe a difficult one. There's a lot of pens. Look, very, very similar to this. Right, we'll zoom out a bit. So again, you can see the nib there. This may start to give people hints. So this one. There we go. This is a Jinhao 992. This pen, $1.70 Aussie dollars when I bought it. Under $2 still, I believe. Yes, it's a smallish pen. You know, it's not the best fit in the hand. Writes beautifully. I've got about 8 of these. They're such a nice, cheap pen. And if anybody asks me about fountain pens and they seem a little bit interested, I'm quite happy to fill one of these and give it to them, because at that price, I'm just going to get another one. So next up, how about this one? Now, there is some engraving there on the cap band. I wonder if that will give it away for some people. Zoom on out. Again, the nib is very distinctive on this one. Again, may give it away. This one, it's the Wingsung 699. Give yourself a bonus point if you said the piston version rather than the vacuum version. Again, nice pen. Got these because I wanted to see what the shape was like and how I got on with the shape before I bought myself my Pilot Custom 823. I've actually got the 823 here. They are very, very similar pens. That 823, oh, it's beautiful. So the final one. Shape of this pen is what may give it away. Oh, let me just get settled in my chair a little bit. Oh, you might have seen the full pen. Oh no, it was held in my hand. Let's zoom on out a bit. Again here, the nib. Nice picture of the nib so you can actually see all the engraving. And zooming on out, this one. This is the Pen BBS 323. This is the aluminium version. I love the shape. It's very unusual, the way it undulates. Posh word for the day there, undulates. Nice pen. I really enjoy using it. Well, as I say about all my pens, I enjoy using all of my pens. So let me swap back to the full face camera. Still got the hat on. It's actually not too warm today. I thought it might be a little bit on the warm side. Right, let's go through, see what we've got. Blonde scales 1. The grooves gave the error away. Yeah, I knew a lot of these would be fairly, I don't want to say easy, but they weren't designed to be overly difficult. Like I do with a lot of my channel, I try and keep things very basic. I don't, I see a number of channels where they're using all sorts of jargon and technical gobbledygook. I try to keep it simple. Yes, I don't use the right words sometimes, or the technical words. I'd rather describe something than actually use a technical term. And on any of my videos, if you find I do start going into like some technical gobbledygook, please let me know in the comments. Let me know on a live chat in here. My idea is I want this to be very accessible for people who are new to fountain pens, as well as people who've been collecting them for a while. Blonde Scales 1. I've got 6 ecos. I don't have that many. I've got one. I think I've got 3. I've got a fine, an extra fine, and I've got the broad 1.1. I was a fine and a broad. I can't remember. I think there's 3. I've got 3 anyway. I've got the green one, I've got the black one, and I've got the orange one. William, the Excellence A2 is a killer pen if he can get it on sale. I was watching, I think it was Mick Lampard, did a review on, I think it was on an Excellence A2 during the week. Yeah, I was thinking that looks quite nice. William, the Diplomat, that is, yeah. Ricardo, I bet it is. I've got the Moonman nib, and it's very dry, and the nib very smooth. Yeah, I've still got one of my M800s with a Moonman nib, but what I've tend to do now is, because I like the broader nib, so I just put another nib in there. They take Yoho nibs quite nicely. Alia Rose, yep, the Jinhao 100. William, Jinhao Centennial, Jinhao 100. Ricardo, the Jinhao 100. William, the Pen BBS 380. Whilst I'm going through this, can you drop into the chat what score did you get? William, nope, Jinhao. Alia Rose, the Jinhao 997, very close with that one. Ricardo, the Jinhao 992. John, is it worth getting a 14K on the Wingsung? I haven't tried a 14K Wingsung nib, or nib on a Wingsung. I do have a Wingsung 698 with a 14K nib, with the lucky nib. I've got to be honest, on that particular one, I am not impressed at all. The nib it's consistent. I will give it that. It's consistently crap. I'd rather use the steel nib on there. I keep trying it, but it's just so springy, so sensitive. I get loads of railroading. That's where it comes out with lines on either side rather than full of ink. I don't intend to buy another Wingsung gold nib, I will be honest. John, Wingsung. William, Pen BBS. William, Year of the Rabbit. Do you know, I haven't tried any of those Year of the ones. I've looked at them, and every time I look at them, I keep thinking to myself, oh, that's but ugly. William, BJ, hello, welcome, BJ. Blonde Scales 1, I got the brand on some after reading the nib. Yeah, I say when I was doing these pictures, I tried to get it because I think the nib is quite handy. You know, I wanted to make it not too difficult. Blonde Scales 1, 3 of the Eco T. That's the one with, is it the triangular grip? Is that the main differentiator between an Eco and an Eco T? Let me just refresh the comments. I've got a Goulet, a Jinhao 100 with a Goulet B on it. Same here, Tom. I can't remember which one. It's my white one has got a Goulet broad nib on it. Very juicy, very nice. Blonde Scales 1, I got the Aero and the Eco on the first picture. Awesome, well done. Ricardo 6, well done, that's a good score. Let me refresh the comments. Okay, let's swap on over to the iPhone camera. Time to do some writing. So what are the pens I've been using this week? So the pen that I used for my replies on my little videos this week, the main pen's been the TWSBI Draco. It's a beautiful looking pen. I still get a bit disappointed with it. It's virtually out of ink, so I'm not sure if it'll write today or not. So we got here a TWSBI. Now this is a problem I've had with it. I know it's out of ink, but as I'm writing, it would run out of ink like this. Sometimes after only a few words. What I'd have to do is give it a couple of shakes, and then it would start writing again. Not just now that it's empty, but literally all the time. Cost-wise, 215 Aussie dollars. The ink, Pure Pens, People's Charter. Is it gonna finish? Yeah, we got it out, just squeezed it out. That's the TWSBI Draco. That's gonna go now into the pot to be washed out. So the pen that I swapped to for doing my comments, this is the Just Turnings Enceladus. This is Brooks Blank's Golden Blue Jay. Beautiful pen, Australian pen, or Australian made pen. On here I've got a broad Yoho nib. So this is Just Turnings. Enceladus. I always spell this wrong. Broad. Price wise, it is 185 Aussie dollars. The ink, it's actually one of the Inkvent inks, so it's diamine and it's velvet emerald. Gorgeous looking ink. So that's the Just Turnings Enceladus. So then we come into my daily pens. So we started off last week on Sunday with the Monteverde Ritma. This is in the olive colour. It's got the broad nib on there. Not going to write with this because it's out of ink. It's already been cleaned out. The ink that I had in here there was Diamine Mistletoe. That's from the 2019 Inkvent. I believe it was the blue one. This pen, 92 Aussie dollars. Nice weighty pen. You'll be seeing it again soon because it's been drawn in the tournament. Monday's pen was the Narwhal Schuylkill. This is in Paw Peter Navy. Holds loads of inks, writes and writes and writes for ages. Nib on here is that medium Narwhal nib. So we've got here a Narvalor Schuylkill. Medium nib, so it's that medium Narwhal nib. I've got a couple of these. One of the other ones I've actually changed and I've got a Yoho nib on there. The price for this was 92 Aussie dollars, same as the price for the Ritma. The ink, Diamine, Ruby Blues. Nice blue ink, but it's got a gorgeous red sheen, but it's not a red sheen that's really in your face. Can I let's see if I can get this. Hopefully you can see some of that red sheen, certainly on that first line. So that's a Narwhal Schuylkill. Next up, Tuesday, we had, I know I showed one in the quiz, here's another one of my Jinhao 100 Centennials. This one's in a meteorite pattern. This one is a cartridge converter. The nib on here is a Kiwi Pens and it's a medium cursive italic. Still getting used to the nib, but it's quite nice. So we've got here a Jinhao 100. So it's a medium cursive italic. Price for this, just check my notes, 25 Aussie dollars. And the ink is by Herbin, and it's Terre de Fouet. Today's video is the first time I'm trying something different. I've not actually printed out my script. I'm actually reading my script straight off my computer. So that's why my eyes are going all over, because I've actually got the script up on two different screens so that hopefully it's in my eye line all the time. Anyway, that's a Jinhao 100. Up next, so this was the pen from Wednesday. This is the Hondian N8. This is in Flying Feathers. Again, cartridge converter. I suppose technically it is a piston. Nearly out of ink. Haven't decided if I'm going to refill this or not. I do have another pen I can fetch in its place. Just not certain at the moment, so I'm still thinking about that. So we've got here a Hondian. I love writing with this pen. And that's why part of the reason why I'll toy with not refilling it, so that it gives other pens a chance, because otherwise I'd use this all the time. 41 Aussie dollars, so we're taking a bit of a price jump there. The ink is by Colorverse, and it's Hubble. Beautiful colour this. I want to say it's like a red colour, but it's like slightly off red. Not a really in your face. It's a nice colour. I do like Colorverse inks. I think they've got some nice variation. So that was the Hondian N8. Thursday's pen was the Marjon or the Moonman M800. So we saw the purple version earlier. This one's the green version. One of the first Chinese pens I got was the M800. Loved the first one I got so much I bought all 4 colours. Again, this is a cartridge converter, loads of ink in this. The nib on here, this is one where the nib's been changed, so this has got a Goulet broad nib on it. So it's a Yoho nib. Now, I do have issues with this sometimes. What I find, and I think we'll see it here hopefully, is, oh no, we don't today, is it usually, after it's been left for a few days, doesn't write straight off. I have to give it a couple of good shakes like that. Then it writes perfectly, no issues with it. Today, didn't do that. Always sod's law, isn't it, when you're trying to say something and it won't do what you want. You'd think it was a child. 66 Aussie dollars. Obviously then you need extra for the nib. The ink is by Lamy. Part of their Crystal series of inks. And it's Peridot. Again, nice beautiful green ink. I do like my green inks. So that's the Mahjong or the Moonman M800. Next up, so from Friday, let's just move this up a little bit. Here we've got the Opus 88 Coloro. This is in blue, so the blue bit is ebonite, and teal, so that's just resin there in the teal colour. Downside with this, because of the darkness, I do struggle actually seeing the ink level. Japanese eyedropper pen, you can't see the mechanism, so I won't talk about it in any detail. Gorgeous nib, I believe they're made for them by Yoho. I'm never sure with this, it's either a 5 or a 5.5, I can never remember which. Beautiful soft nib though. So this is the Opus 88 Coloro. Broad nibbed. And the price for this, 146 Aussie dollars. The ink by Robert Oster. It's an Australian company. And it's Tranquility. Another ink that I like. And say that I get about virtually every ink as well as every pen. So that's the Opus 88 Coloro. Yesterday's pen, a little bit shrinking now from the previous few pens. This is the Pelikan M205, fairly small pen. This has got that blue pattern. Down here, this dark bit here, that's actually an ink window. It's so dark, it's unusable to me, which is a shame because I think if that was transparent, it'd be perfect. This is a piston filling pen. Beautiful nib on here. It's a steel nib. There we go. This pen, it's so small, I do need to use it posted most of the time. It's not really a pocket pen, and it is sort of usable unposted. I just find it a little bit more comfortable with that cap on the end. So this is the Pelikan M205. Broad nibbed again. Price wise $199, and the ink by Pure Pens, and it's Celtic C. Nice blue ink. I like this Celtic C. And then today's pen, can't remember the exact price of this. Let me just pull up a different script. I write my scripts yesterday, so I don't have the exact price for this because obviously I didn't start using it till today. This is, as I showed very quickly earlier, the Pilot Custom 823 with that number 15 size Pilot nib, and it's 14 karat gold. So Pilot Custom 823, broad nibbed, 521 Aussie dollars. Not a cheap pen. I do think it's worth every cent, but it's not cheap. The ink is by Dominant Industry. And it's Lungo, a gorgeous brown ink to go this gorgeous brown pen. So they're the pens. They're the pens. Yeah, they are the pens. Pens and inks I've been using this week. Been able to write with quite a few of them. I think there was only one I couldn't write with, which is unusual. Normally I've got a few more that are empty. Let's swap on over. Let's go back to the main view. Get back to the actual script. Let's go through. Here we go. Let's go through the comments again. Blonde Scales 1, so the grip and cap, yeah, that did give it away for some. BJ, that just turned into beauty. Absolutely, it is. I've got a pen coming up, which I know what it is because I've already recorded tomorrow's Inkvent video. I'm not going to get up early and record a video on Christmas Day. So I know the pen that's coming out on there. Then there'll be a first impressions video, but there's a story behind it, which I'll tell in that. But the one, wait till you see tomorrow's Christmas gift. That's all I can say in the Inkvent video. Oh, wow, 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 what a stunner. That's literally all I can say. Ricardo, I've got 2 Platinum 3776s that behave a bit like the Draco. Batman mug today, in case you were wondering. The solution for one was to rinse with very dilute soapy water and dry. Surface tension was the culprit. I'm still working on the second one. I've had nothing but issues with that Draco since I got it. It's one of my, I've got to be honest, it's not the worst pen I've had, but it's getting down there with it. Beautiful looker. When it writes beautifully, but it's not consistent. I've pulled out the nib and feed numbers of times. I've put it through, as you say, that little bit of dishwashing soap. I've put it through an ultrasonic cleaner. I just cannot get consistency with it. What I may do next is do a little bit of work on the feed. I've got like a craft knife. It's an X-Acto knife. So it might be called, where I'm going to think about scoring down the channels to see if I can just increase the size of the channels, make them a little bit deeper to increase the flow of ink. Maybe that might solve the problem. I've already tried shimming the nib. I may try doing that again. So yeah, still working on that. Alia Rose, I had to refill my Hondian Flying Feathers over another pen as it's the perfect winter white. Yeah, it's honestly a beautiful pen. Lovely nib on it. It's one where I don't think I'd think of changing the nib at all. Very nice, very generous medium. Really like it. Where we go. BJ, does anyone have any experience with the Kaigaloo 316A? I'm trying to decide between the Kaigaloo or the Jinhao 100. BC is reaching behind him. See if I can get the right box. Would be the one on the bottom. So I have a Kaigaloo 316, which is here. So it's got the black ends. And there's the nib there. I think this is the Kaigaloo nib. Beautiful. I think it was called a low, something like that, the pattern. This one here, this is the 316A. So very nice. Again, beautiful green colour. Nice thing with the 316A, the ends are no longer black, they're matching resin. Same here with the section. Cartridge converter. Again, lovely, gorgeous medium nib. Let me just fetch in that blue Jinhao 100. You know, compare them together. They are very, very similar. I do think there is a video somewhere on my channel. Search for Kaigaloo 316 on my channel. I do have a comparison video between the Jinhao 100 and the 316A. I think I've also got the 316 in the same video. Very nice pen. I love it. I love the colours. I've only got one 316 and one 316A because, let me just pop this over here out of the way, because Tightwad Garry, there's a price difference. The Jinhao 100 is about $10–15 cheaper than the 316A. What I tend to do is go for the Jinhao 100s. I know they're very nice, but they look very, very similar. They write very, very similar. But yeah, it just depends. I said, certainly I would buy another 316A if I saw a colour I liked. But generally, I go for the Jinhao 100s. Aries, Merry Yule Tidings, Mr. Garry Eves on chat. Yeah, thank you for that. Blonde Scales 1. I need to use up the ink in some of my pens so I can try some of my new additions. Yeah, I know that feeling. This is why I've instituted a thing now. If a pen's been inked up for 3 months, it gets emptied out regardless. The way I look at it, if I haven't used it up in 3 months, I'm not enjoying the combo. So what's the point in keeping it? So that took a little bit of a mind twist to actually do that, but it was well worth doing. Alia Rose, the Jinhao is more consistent in quality, but the Kaigaloo has some amazing colours. Yeah, Kaigaloo, beautiful colours. They are more interesting than the Jinhaos. As a tight wad Garry, I go for the fact it's cheaper. Aries, best way to use up ink is to write Christmas stories for the kids. That's an awesome idea. Sorry, quite thirsty today. Now, I'm just watching my watch now. I'm under starters orders from the wife. Literally as soon as I finish this live stream, we're going out shopping. We've got most of our Christmas shopping, but we've got to go out and get, bread and, some of the perishables that really are best bought the day before Christmas. So I'm under starters orders. Literally within 2 minutes of me finishing this stream, we'll be in the car on the way to the supermarket. Tom Morley, the Yoho number 5 on the Colora Opus 88. Opus 88. There we go. It's refreshed now. Opus 88 demonstrators have a number 6. Thanks for that, Tom. I don't know why. I just couldn't get whether it was a 5 or a 5.5. Thank you for that. Blonde Scales 1. No kids, and it's too late to have any. Mine's 27, and yeah, my youngest is 27, should I say. My youngest grandson is, how old is he now? 11, I think it is. I did do yesterday on my other channel, we'll talk about it in a minute, but I actually did read A Christmas Story. BJ, the orange brown 316 has caught my eye. The resin looks very nice. Yeah, I think the 316, nice quality pens, and the resins are gorgeous. Aries. I didn't mean specific kids, but kids of the entire world. Kids old and new. Blonde Scales 1 grins. John, both are nice, but the Kaigaloo 316 feels a bit heavier than the 100. I can't remember now. I believe there's a showdown somewhere. Might have even been earlier this year. And in there, I will have done weights, so I weigh all the pens. Check that out, as I say. This gives you a good introduction between the two. A number 12 T-shirt. Blonde Scales 1. I really want to ink up my new Curidas, but I need to empty a pen first. Well, I know it's going to sound horrible. Just pick one and empty it regardless. Don't wait till you've write it out. I know it's that mindset shift, and once I made it, it actually took a lot of pressure off, so I don't feel as guilty. Ricardo, the only M200/205 that have a clear ink window that I can see are the pastel green or the blue, and these have got a white section. Yeah, it's just a shame. I know why it's dark. It's dark because it just matches, and it does. It looks right. And I've got to be honest, if that ink window was transparent, the pen would not look right. It wouldn't look what you expect from a German pen. But, it's all about usability for me. Blonde Scales 1. I need to get some good pics of my pens and find a few that are in hiding. Yeah, I want to get better at taking pen photos. I've got out. This was on a shelf over the room, so I've actually moved it over here. This is my DSLR. It's a Canon 7D. I've had it quite a long time. I've got on there. I've got a nifty 50 on there. I've now put it next to my desk, so I want to start using that. A couple of the thumbnails that I've done for some recent videos, I've actually taken a photo with that. Happy with the photo than what I was getting on my iPhone. But saying that, the iPhone takes some beautiful pictures. JXJ, I get into a bad habit of writing lots and then letting it sit for weeks, sometimes months on end. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. My pen case now was actually a bit fuller than it was. But this was 3 months ago virtually full of pens that were inked up and not being used. Once I started doing this idea of don't worry about it, I got down to middle of this month. I only had 10 pens in there. It's up a little bit more because I've started to record videos for next year, so I'm inking up pens for that as well. But again, I'm going to go through that same rule. If I don't use it for 3 months, clean it out. Alia Rose, my husband was the one who dragged me to the shop today, but I did score a marzipan cake. Do you know, that's something over here in Australia that I really miss. In the UK, you could buy blocks of marzipan, so you could do icing on your own cake. Here in Australia, I don't know why, they've got no concept of marzipan full stop, which is a shame. The nearest I can get to anything with marzipan now is Stollen. So I actually buy my Stollen from Aldi. Beautiful, I love it. Very nice. Loads of marzipan in that. I know in the UK, I used to buy a block of marzipan and I would eat it as a snack. Not the whole block, obviously, just a little bit of it, because it was just an unusual snack. Blonde Scales 1, all the shopping done here, so we'll hold up until Tuesday. Yeah, I say we've done most of it. It's just things like bread today that we need to get, so that's... the idea is we're actually not going to get a trolley. We'll be going around the supermarket with a basket. That's how little we need. I think it was 2 loaves of bread, some bread rolls, and there was something else I've got on my shopping list. We'll be in and out hopefully in 10 minutes. Paul McHugh, I'm late, but doing last-minute shopping for the holidays. Happy holidays to all of you. Okay, that's all the comments. Let's swap. Let me just check. Yeah. So, videos. So this week's videos. On Sunday last week, I did a fountain pen focus on the M600. The M600, very similar to that Kaigaloo 316 and a Jinhao 100 in shape, just made by Marchon. Tuesday, we looked at one of the gifts that I got from my wife during Inkfest. It's now behind me here. Hopefully you can see it. This is the Galen leather pen case. So in there, at the moment there's only 4 pens in there, because the other ones which will live in there are inked up for some videos I'm doing. Otherwise they'll be in there. So that's where the idea is my nice pens will live in there so that I can see them rather than being hidden away in a box where I can't see them. It's got that nice, I'm calling it a glass top, it's not, it's like a plastic top, so that they're protected from dust and stuff. Very dusty where I live. So that's nice to have that bit of protection on them. On Friday, that was the Asvine P20 First Impressions. Let me just lean over and pull this one out. Beautiful pen. It's not that one, it's this one. Absolutely gorgeous. Very pretty. Very, very similar to the Moon Man M800. There's an M800. I'm going to do a fountain pen showdown between them because for all intents and purposes they're identical. This one though is a piston filler. The P20 is a piston filler, where the Moon Man is just a cartridge converter. Very impressed with it. I may end up getting some more. Very nice. The ink in there as well, that's Diamond Glacier, so it's another one of the Inkvent inks. Just pop that away. Yesterday on Tricky Little Questions, that's what I was saying. It was a Christmas story, so it was something like Rudy's Windy Christmas or something like that. I did throw in some bits of science as part of the story. Essentially, the story was about the reindeer sneaking some sprouts and then the effect it had on their system as they were delivering Christmas presents. Yeah, it was meant to be a bit of fun. This week's videos. So today at 2 o'clock my time, I'll be putting up my review of these, well, my first impressions. These are again some gifts that my wife got me. She actually bought them from a thrift shop or a charity shop. Unusual what they are. Wait till you see that video. Very interesting, and hopefully you'll like the use case I've got for them. On Tuesday, I've got a first impressions, he says, reaching over yet again. I'll actually show you it. My first impressions of this. This is the Canwrite Heritage. So this is a Chinese pen. Double broad nib on it. So you can find out on Tuesday what I think of that pen. Friday is my wrap up for December. So that's where we wrap up the pens in use. Saturday, over on Tricky Little Questions, that's going to be a photo quiz. So like the photo quiz we do here, but photo clip. But yeah, a photo quiz. And then Sunday of next week, in the live of Sunday next week, I'm going to give my overall thoughts on this year's ink vent. I thought I'll do it in the live, then we get some chat going. But then at 2 o'clock next Sunday will be my top 5 inks from this year's ink vent. So I thought that's nice to tie both videos in, on one day. Book of the week, I'm still reading Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett. I've had a couple of days where I didn't read, mainly because I was viciously attacked by a bottle of wine a couple of times during the week. And I don't like to read when I've had a bit to drink. So I had a couple of nights when I didn't read. It's terrible what those bottles of wine, they viciously force themselves on you. And they keep forcing and forcing and forcing. They will not give in. So yeah, still Reaper Man. Hopefully I might actually get that finished today. Then I'm going to go on to Terry Goodkind. He says, pulling the book in, it's ready to go. Chainfire, so that's the next Terry Goodkind. Big chunky book. So that's everything off the script. Let's pop on back to the chat. Oh, here we go. Alia Rose got 2p20s. They're so good. Yeah, I was quite surprised. I say it was the first time I've tried one. I do have an Asvine V126. Ever so pleased my wife got it. As I say, I may end up getting some more. Alia, I will be more pen financially responsible next month. I've got a couple of big purchases I'm planning next month. I had a bit of a windfall this month. So I've got a little bit of money to play around with for a change. And I want to get a Grail pen. So I'm waiting for the sales to start, which usually after Christmas. I thought, let's wait off. Hopefully I'll be able to afford a Grail pen. Then with my YouTube funds, I do have enough for another pen. Still not sure. I'm toying with the idea of getting a Lamy 2000. I've never had one before. It's one of these pens I keep looking at, I keep putting into my cart, and then I keep taking out because every time you hear about it, everyone's saying how nice it is, but then I look at it and it doesn't look very exciting, for the want of a better way. So maybe I'll be looking at that next month. I say I had a bit of the Grail pen's covered by this little bit of a windfall, and the Lamy 2000, I've got a couple of months worth of YouTube revenue that I've saved up, and a little bit of gift money that I've been given for Christmas, and that's why I thought maybe the Lamy 2000. But saying that, I'm also toying with getting some different mics, so I don't need a mic. I'm toying with one of the mics that goes onto your clothes, but I'm not sure about that yet. I do like the idea of the 2000 there. So got some future purchases in January, but only if they're on sale for a decent price. BJ, each time I see the Asvine coloured resins, makes me want to pick one up. Kind of a surprise. I didn't have a mixed resin pen yet. Yeah, I every time I look on AliExpress, I do look at the Asvine pens, but then I get some other ones instead. I think I'll be increasing the Asvines as we go along. Alia Rose, BJ, I crave some brighter colours for those. I'm actually quite liking bright colour, the coloured pens. Only downside, pardon me, bit expensive to take, a bit flashy if you're going into a business meeting. Blonsdale's one, that wine must be related to the chocolate that attacks me. Definitely. Yeah, wine and a nice chocolate. Again, when we lived in the UK in the winter, especially when we went to my father-in-law's, because he had a coal fire, it was really nice to have a nice Pinot Noir with some nice dark chocolate sat around an open fire. Very nice. Sorry, I should stop reminiscing. Aries, the Lamy 2000 is a dream pen. John, the Jinhao 80 is just as good as the Lamy 2000. I've now got a Jinhao 80, so I may, if I get the 2000, but I may be able to compare them. Aries, perhaps, but it ain't no Lamy 2000. That'd be a good showdown if I do get it. BJ, And now that I've seen Garry's Mahjong pens, I also have to consider going for one of those. I would like to have a mixed resin pen. I'm really the Mahjong, the Moonman ones on the Mahjongs. I say this is a purple one. Very nice. There's purple. What is it? Purple, green, blue, and what's the other colour? Brown, amber. Very nice. I really like them. I've got to be honest. The M800 is still one of my favourite Chinese pens. Ricardo, the Lamy 2000 is great. Pity I didn't get a second one last year when they were a third less than now. I might still get a new one next year. Yeah, it's part of it is the price now that I'm seeing. That's why I'm thinking, you know, if I can get, especially if there's somewhere maybe I've seen, let's hope somewhere does 20% off, then it'll be worth having. Even paying postage on top might make it be worth having. So yeah, patiently waiting now. The money's sat there, so I can buy it. I say the Grail pen. The pen I'm hoping the Grail is a Homo sapiens, Visconti Homo sapiens Dark Ages, the all black one. I've been looking at a pen for about 2.5 years, and I said we got this money came in, didn't expect it. Let's see. So the wife now has started walking up and down in front of the office door. I think she's trying to drop a hint. Alia Rose, I've got an extra chocolate advent calendar for January. Chocolate every day. That's a brilliant idea. I don't know why. I always thought in previous years when I had a chocolate advent calendar, they had 25 days, but this year's only had 24. Bit disappointing that. Again, if you've seen today's video, you'll know what I'm on about. Oh, today's Inkvent video. So, any more comments? Andrew, welcome Andrew. Oh, Hawaii. Just tuned in by chance. Fountain pens are great. Like vintage ones especially. Do you know, I've not tried any vintage ones yet. I think that's something I may have to think about, you know, maybe, won't be 2024. I've already got my plans for what I want to buy in 2024. But maybe the following year, maybe I might start looking at vintage pens then. I love watching Grandmere. I believe he's somewhere around the Manchester or Birmingham area. I can't remember which in the UK. I love looking at the pens that he gets. It might be worth maybe seeing if I can get, you know, reach out to him, see how much he's charging. I'm not sure in Australia if there's anywhere where you can get vintage pens from. Again, so I'll have to have a look at that. Let's refresh. Andrew Kiaora, blonde scales. I still say you need to drag her. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mentioned that to her last week after you mentioned it. I won't tell you what her response was because it's not very polite. So I'll check the comments one last time in a second. My Christmas joke for today. If you get easily offended, you may want to mute for this one. Why does Mother Claus always smile on Christmas Day? Because Santa only comes once a year, and then it's down a chimney. So that's my Christmas joke for today. Hope it was as cheesy as I was expecting. One final check. Sorry, wrong greeting. Vintage ones are great, but getting new sacks is an issue. Yeah, that's one of the things why I thought maybe go to this Grandmere, because he does them all up and then he sells them on. So essentially, yes, you're buying a vintage pen, but all the work's done, so all you've got to do is put ink in it. Definitely something I'm going to think about. Blonde Scales 1, I do love my balance. Alia Rose, oh no, I take it that's to my joke and lol. Anita, I like Grail pens, but can't resist to talk myself out of getting. Yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. So I keep looking at it, keep thinking, oh, and then think, can I justify that much? Just a note, to the writing desk in the UK is a specialist Lamy shop, and they test the 2000s before they sell. It's also the only way you can get a nib for the 2000 in the UK, brand new, £93. That's not bad. That's not bad. And because they're gold nibs as well. So thank you for that. So just something to make a note. The writing desk. So that's another one I will be checking out. Right, one last refresh. Let's check the comments. Okay, no new comments. So thank you all. It's 9:25, so 55 minutes. Bit of a record for me. BJ, thanks for bringing us together. No, thank you all for joining me. I hope you all enjoy the next few days. I hope you all have a nice time. I know different people around the world celebrate different things. As you can tell, we celebrate Christmas. I will be honest, I actually hate Christmas Day. I love the run up to it though. So thank you everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon.